Have you ever wanted to revisit the environments within Destiny 2's content vault like the D1 Tower in Homecoming, the Farm, Titan, Io, the Almighty, the Leviathan, Mercury, Mars, or the Tangled Shore? Introducing Project Sunrise. If you've heard enough and want to get straight into how to download this, you can skip to the timestamp shown on screen now. So, what is Project Sunrise? Project Sunrise is a mod that allows you to launch into and explore environments in an older 2020 build of Destiny 2 before content vaulting had occurred. This is not a cheat or a custom server or a way to replay old campaigns and raids. Project Sunrise redirects any calls the game would try to make to Steam or Bungie servers to instead run locally on your PC. This is purely for environment exploration at the moment. That said, Project Sunrise is open source, so if anyone wants to make an attempt at getting the activities functional or add any additional features, that is possible. The enemy spawns, the enemies themselves, and all activity mechanics are in the build but won't function until someone finds a way to hook it all up correctly. Alright, how can you download Project Sunrise for yourself? First, here's what you need. A Windows PC, a Steam account that owns Destiny 2, and about 100 GB of free storage. If you have all that, go to the first GitHub link in the description of this video to download the SunriseInstaller.exe and then open it. At the top, you can set the folder you'd like it to download all the Project Sunrise contents to. Again, make sure you have about 100 GB of space free on the drive you choose. Below that, you need to enter in your Steam account name. If you don't know this, you can open Steam and click your name at the top, and it should be the blue name to the right of Account Details. If you're wondering why it's asking for your Steam account, Steam Depot Downloader, which the installer runs, requires you to log into a Steam account that owns Destiny 2 to download the old Destiny 2 build. After you enter your Steam account name, you're good to press the install button. It will then probably ask you to enter in your Steam account's password, and then may also have you use Steam Guard to confirm it was you trying to log in. It's doing all of this to make sure you own Destiny 2 on your Steam account. It will then begin downloading the old version of Destiny 2 directly from Steam. This may take a while as it needs to download 90 GB of game packages and then also has to download the English dialogue packages. Once it's done downloading everything, you should be all set to launch the game through the Destiny 2 exe. You'll know it works when you launch the Destiny 2 exe and you see the Sunrise loading bars at the bottom and the white title screen background. If for whatever reason you see the Monument of Triumph dark mode title screen for Destiny 2 when launching, go to the second GitHub link in the description and download the Steam API DLL file. You'll want to open your new Destiny 2 installation wherever you downloaded it, open the bin folder, then the x64 folder, and drag and drop the new Steam API file into there. If it asks to overwrite an existing file, hit yes. Once you see the Shadowkeep title screen when booting up the exe, you're good to boot up the game and start exploring. There are 3 pre-made characters you can choose from, a Hunter, a Titan, and a Warlock. Once you've selected a character and reach orbit, you are free to launch into any activity you want, but keep in mind that at the time I'm recording this, some activities may spawn you into the wrong spot. Sparrows are functional, and you can use whichever abilities you have currently equipped. At the time of recording, I couldn't figure out how to change subclass stuff, but I'm sure it's possible. You can change your weapons, armor, ghost shell, ship, sparrow, emblem, emo, pretty much anything you want gear-wise. I'm sure there will be much better guides on how to do that, but if you want to mess around with giving yourself different items and mess with settings, you'll want to open your installation of Project Sunrise, open the bin folder, then the x64 folder, and finally the Sunrise folder. And here is a settings.json file where you can change a bunch of values so that every time you launch Project Sunrise, it saves those values in settings. You can set default values for things like changing your in-game name, controller sensitivity, game volume, and a bunch of other things. This is also where player gear and items can be changed. Keep note of the class number you see above the equipment you want to change. Class 0 is Titan, Class 1 is Hunter, and Class 2 is Warlock. So for example, if you want to mess with the gear the Hunter has, find where it says Class 1 and the values directly below that will all belong to the Hunter character. The definition hash is what changes the weapon, armor piece, or whatever item it is. And the plugs are the perks, mod slots, shader and ornament slots, and other slots the item has. You can find all of these hashes by using sites like light.gg or data.destinysets.com and copying the API ID and then converting it to hexadecimal. Here in the video, I'll show an example of how this can be done with light.gg and a decimal to hex conversion site. I'll leave links to all of these sites in the description if you'd like to use them. When pasting in the hash, make sure it keeps the 0x in front of it. We have now changed the kinetic weapon of this hunter to Outbreak Perfected. However, it has all the wrong perks and other slots. For the sake of time, I won't show how to change the plugs. I'm sure there will be much better videos explaining how to do this. After you've entered the value you want, make sure to press Save or Ctrl S. Then close and relaunch the game. If your game has now given you chicken errors, you've messed something up with one of the values you tried to change. Last few things. When you're in-game in Project Sunrise, you can press the Insert key on your keyboard to open the Sunrise menu. Here you can enable Teleport, which will be a useful tool if you come across any closed doors you can't get through. You can also enable Activity Override, which allows you to choose whichever activity you want from the game, choose where you want it to spawn you, and it will override every activity in the game to spawn you into that. This is useful if there's not an activity node on the director for the activity you want to launch. Just make sure the bubble you choose has a spawn point, or else the game won't be able to spawn you there. Anyway, that's Project Sunrise. I'm happy to answer any questions you have in the comments below. If you ever come across a piece of cut content or a mysterious place you've never seen before while using Project Sunrise, and you would like to learn more about it, feel free to join the What Remains Discord server in the description below. There's also a dedicated Project Sunrise Discord server if you want to keep updated on when new builds release. Links to both of these Discord servers will be in the description below. That's all I've got for now. Have fun exploring out there, Guardians.